Bernard, could you please tell us what is venture philanthropy and what does it do for people?
Venture philanthropy is an approach of supporting social organizations with a social purpose, by giving them core funding, so supporting the core activities of the organization, not the outcomes, giving the organization core funding for a longer term so that they have a horizon to develop, giving them, next to financial support, also organizational support, helping them to measure success, what the difference will be and how they will measure that difference for people's lives, and to tailor the financing according to the capacity of that organization in order to make it as sustainable as possible.
How is it different, if at all, from social investments?
Venture philanthropy is an approach which can be used for grant making, which can be used for lending money, loans, or investing in equity, or a mixture of those. So the approach is quite similar. Social investment is in some countries used as a term to categorize the loan element or the equity element, and less the grant element. But it's about how people define social and how people define investing. But in general, for us, it is quite similar, provided that the main objective of venture philanthropy and social investing is to create a new solution, to create change in people's lives. And that should be the main objective. In order to make that change sustainable and the impact of that change sustainable, of course you look at making this organization financially resilient, but that resilience can be derived by having the government pay for results, by having the public pay for the results, or by having a mixture of investors and a profitable business model. What is not social impact investing is starting by saying this organization needs to be profitable and have some social impact. There's nothing wrong with that. It is not what we call venture philanthropy and social impact investing, because every company that is profitable often has a very good social impact. And there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that it doesn't need a special market and a special funding approach. The capital markets are there to fund profitable businesses, and a lot of them have, fortunately, a lot of social impact. So for us, social impact investing, venture philanthropy is an approach for new solutions, which is needed and which would create change for people's lives, which would otherwise not happen. So it's to create new social impact.
How does venture philanthropy measure the success of investments?
Yeah. Now, to measure success, for us there are three dimensions. The first dimension is, did you realize the change for other people's lives? Positive change. Did you realize it? So this is the social impact. And there are outcomes which you can define, and it's important that when you measure the outcomes, that you do it proportionate to the capacities of the organization. That you don't come up with a huge measurement system which is going to take too much effort, too much cost, and it's going to take too long for management of that organization to correct and steer and improve the impact that they have. Sometimes outcome measurement is more than enough in order to make a school perform better, or in order to have an inclusion project work better. So that's the first thing, measure the social impact. And we have a 5-step approach. It's basically, first, there's no one size fits all. Set your objective, know your stakeholders and analyze them very well. Measure the results that you're achieving, the outcomes. Then verify whether these results are indeed representing the change you wanted to obtain, and then of course monitor and improve. So that's about social impact. But there's also, of course, the financial sustainability of the organization which you have to measure. It could be a profit-making business model, it could be other funders who take over, it could be the government, but the financial sustainability of your organization is very important to measure too. And as a third dimension, very important, is the organizational resilience. Is this organization capable of sustaining the impact that it's making? And what are the limits of that? Because sometimes it is wise to not force the organization to grow and to scale, but to look at the sustainable and the resilience of the organizations first, and then to say, if other entrepreneurs want to copy, replicate, and do the same, maybe that's a better model than try to scale the organization itself, because the resilience of that organization is very important.